Well, a very good afternoon, a good morning, and good evening to all on frequency. This is ZS6YI. Yeah, last minute adjustments. I was talking to Leon, ZS1 Mike, and I forgot to put the YouTube channel on. I had it on a different stream. Anyway, we wish to welcome everybody on frequency. I just want to send this to somebody else as well, and then we can get the stream going. Right, I just want to welcome all on frequency once again. And let me just quickly click this one on, and then I'll be ready to take over. Right. Firstly, we wish to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us opportunity to be on their wonderful satellite with the amateur satellite on it. We also wish to thank the AMSAT DL and also AMSAT UK and of course the BATC for all their help in getting us going. Without that, those opportunities, we would never have been able to do what we are doing currently. Today, we have a number of guys on frequency. We've got Mike, Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey. Hello, Mike, and it's a National Field Day, so it'll be interesting to hear from Mike. Beautiful signal just now, Mike. Hello to Tom, ZR6 Tango Golf. And then very warm welcome to Sepp in Germany, a DL7 SEP. Had a nice chat to Sepp yesterday and also a week ago when he first came on. So nice to see you, Sepp, and welcome on board. And then we have in Holland, Bert, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Very good afternoon to you, Bert. And then we have Leon down in Worcester in the Cape, South Africa. ZS1 Mike. And hello, Nick. Saw you on earlier in the UK, Golf 4IMO. So far, I don't see any other stations. Let me go and have a quick peek on the World Wide Web quick. Okay. Hello, Mike. Golf 1 Lima Whiskey X-ray. Won't be on today. New PA problem. Sorry to hear that, Mike. But we hope you get that sorted out in due course. And hello to Saro in India, VU2RTF. I don't know if Saro will be on, but we'll give him a gap at the end of the program. So with that, Mike, if you don't mind starting up your engines, G0 Mike Juliet Whiskey to take it from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India.
Thank you, Gary. Hopefully that's working. Yep, it is. Good. Nice to see you again. I've forgotten how to drive everything. It's been so long. No, not really. But I have missed the Sunday net for the past month, probably, due to other things that clash in the summer. And this is an issue, and I really ought to be up on the site doing National Field Day at the moment. It's actually going to finish at 3 o'clock. So I'm going to rush up there shortly and help disassemble. I haven't got any photos or videos to show at this stage, and I think possibly the 2 or 3 QSO we managed to complete wouldn't be all that interesting. It's been incredibly hard going. The field day, incidentally, is VHF field day. It's other bands in Europe, but for us it's 6 meters, 4 meters, 2 meters, 70 centimeters and 23 centimeters. So that's what we've been operating on. And we've had a few QSOs. We set up 5 stations effectively, not all running at the same time. So 6 and 4 are on different days, and 2 meters is on its own, and then 70 SEMs and 23 SEMs that are sharing the station and the mast and the rotator. So that's what we've been up to. I look forward to seeing everybody else and seeing what you've been doing. I haven't really got much to show on the bench, so I'm just going to go over it to give you a different view, a more pleasant view than me. But the Thursday net was when I spoke about what I'd purchased at the newbie boot sale last week, and that's just a selection. Only need to look at the preamp and the relays. The other bits are just amplifier bits, and now completed bias board because the components finally turned up. 200 ohm pops that I've been waiting for some time. So that's all of that. I think I need to pass it over to Tom, don't I? So is that right? Let me just check the list. Yeah, it is. So Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf, over to you. G0 MJW.
Okay, let's try that again. Thanks there, Mike. G0 MJW here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. Good to see everybody today, and hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, so for my side, all going good. Well, didn't do too much this week. I've been down with the flu mostly. Not COVID, just a good old-fashioned flu, but it wasn't fun. But yeah, doing much better again. Well, I was on the roof again yesterday, so can't be doing too bad. But yeah, good to see everybody. I do have something to show. So you guys remember last week, I was playing with the AirSpy with the BATC FFT backend to basically do a little offline spectrum display. So I took it a bit further and basically, well, not big changes. Let's show you here. Let's put it there. Okay, so you'll see there's the a very familiar site, which is essentially our wideband spectrum monitor from the BATC site, but it's the offline version. So this is basically running off the Raspberry Pi with the AirSpy, and the spectrum that it's showing is what I'm getting on my dish right now. Looks slightly wonky. My reception isn't too great today. But yeah, it's completely offline, nothing on the internet or anything like that. And then what I also did is pull that same information into QuickTune. So this QuickTune's been modified. It's got a little extra field there. I don't know if you guys can see that, it's a bit small, but basically allows you to just point it to the Raspberry Pi. And now I can use my QuickTune locally, so no internet or anything required. So not a big change or a big thing, but it does work quite nicely. And you know, if you're at home, it's not a big thing, but I think especially if you have a portable station outside, or you know, mobile station, or if the internet is down or the BATC site itself is down, then you can still have full access to the spectrum, and even QuickTune will be working just fine without any issues. So there's been quite a bit of comments around you know, obviously using the AirSpy, which isn't ideal. It is a bit more expensive. So I've been looking at a few other options as well, and one of the options is using a RTL SDR dongle, but then basically just using some scanning. I'm busy experimenting getting the data off there, so maybe see if I can get it going on that. It'll obviously be a bit slower, but you know, I don't think it'll be much of a problem. So we'll give it a shot and see how it works. On the station side, I actually have my narrowband back up and running. I've got all my Plutos are now GPS disciplined, and my LMBs as well. So yeah, Gary, you can just comment there if I'm a bit more on frequency now than what I used to be, but that should all be good now. And I jumped on the narrowband yesterday just for a quick test, and it turned into a 1 hour little mini pile up with the amount of stations that jumped there. So that was a lot of fun. I made a good 20 contacts, and yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, like I said, not much from my side, just basically that, and then yeah, just being sick most of the week. So hopefully I'll get a bit more done next week. Okay, I'm gonna hand it over there to Sep. Sep, good to see you here on the satellite, and looking forward to having many chats with you as well. DL7 SEP, Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf.
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Delta Lima 7 Sereko Papa. Name Sep. Many thanks to coming in this group. Yeah, Gary, Mike, Tom, Sep by himself, Bert, Leon, and Nick, and all other visitors. Okay. Yeah, this is the second time or the third time to stay on this frequency in DATV. For me, it's a complete new thing, and I must learn many things here. But I'm happy. I have received the receiver, the mini tuner, 3 weeks ago, and I haven't any case for that, so the board is on the table here. open frame board. Yeah, and it works. Yeah, and the amplifier in the moment is called a stereo amplifier, and this from Poland. I have bought that. It have two separate channels on the board, and I use only one of the two channels. Maybe on the next test I will combine the two channels, but for this signal it is enough with one channel. I have the board here from the amplifier. I can show you. This is this left and right. This is this amplifier, and he have must took a screwdriver, two transistors here, and every of them works in the Doherty principle, and with this it will not could run on 2.4 gigahertz. So I have decided to do the peak transistor with a quiescent current. Normal, the peak transistor works in C, not in AB. That's the problem. And then when you put 500 to 600 milliamps for the peak transistor, then you get a gain approximate of 40 dB, and the CW output power is without the circulator is 130 watts, and it works great. I have also built our own amplifier with a 200 watt output with the Amplion transistor, and this is really the better. He have more efficiency than this board. But I have to want to test that, and yeah, it runs. Yeah, today here here I live near Munich, 40 kilometers in the east. We have a sunny day, 28 degrees, and maybe I go to swim with my wife. And so I don't know how long can I stay here on this frequency. Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, yesterday I had a musical performance. You can see in the background keyboards and so on. And I didn't get to bed until 3 o'clock, so I'm a little bit tired in the moment. Yeah, that's the news here from Bavarian near Munich. So I must look on the list for the next user. Okay, I give it to Bert. Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Delta Lima. Go ahead, Bert.
Yes, okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was doing some other things, yeah, at the moment. Okay, thanks, Seb. Very fine. Nice to see you. Indeed, the name is Bert, and live in the northeast part of the Netherlands, yeah. Yeah, good evening, morning. Yeah, for Sarah was it evening probably, and the rest is afternoon, eh? No Ed available from Brazil. I think he's the only one who's in this group for from Brazil. Eh? So also, like a lot of other people, did not miss last week. And the only thing I did was busy with a new design, electronic design, made some schematics, and also started with the PCB. And yeah, when you make a PCB, you have always changed some lines in the schematic, because that's easier for the PCB. Eh? The main core of the new design is the microchip PI, the Pico, the small Pico one. Eh? And there seems to be also now a new Pico one, a wireless version. But anyway, I got only a couple of the old ones, and that's for me enough. Yesterday arrived a new LNB for me. I'm using now since when was that? February 2019 or something. I'm using the octagon for output. One output is changed to an input for the LO, and the other one for horizontal and the vertical. But I want a replacement for my octagon. The octagon green something nothing number is not available anymore. So I've got now another one. Let's see if I can switch over to the other camera. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the little box. That's from Poland, like the amplifier from Seb. This one also from Poland. That's a McLean TV systems. There are several types, and yeah, I got now the quad version, and maybe I can hope it will focus a little bit. Yep, as you can see, it's straight. All from this side, so also not much to tell. That will be very quick today, I believe. That's all. It's only 20 minutes past 3, and yeah, I pass it on then to Leon already, but he has probably a lot to tell, eh? ZS1, Mike. The system is yours, Leon, from Papa Alpha 3, Alpha Oscar Delta.
Okay, thank you, Bert. Let me just get my monitor up there so I can see myself on OBS. Yeah, that's a nice looking LNB there. Nice and spacious. It's not so compact. Space to do all sorts of modifications and things on on it. Okay, let's work down the list. Okay, Gary. Gary opened it and we had a chat. Mike has some new goodies. Relays and bias T's and things I see. Tom, I just noticed that your audio sync was way out. I don't know, mine is probably also not so good. I haven't checked it for a long time. That spectrum display thing of yours, it's really, oh man, it's amazing. And now you've improved it even more. And even that tune thing can run off it now. That's really super, Tom. Yeah, I'm just waiting for Anton to be back from Greece or wherever he's gone to, so that I can order those little bits from him. And then I shall kindly ask you if I may then courier them to you, so that you can do that initialization business, because I read your whole write-up there, but that's way above me. I wouldn't know where to start. But once it's working and I've put it in a box, and oh man, that's a dream come true. Thank you so much for putting all the effort in to get that thing going. That's what I want. A high-speed spectrum display, small, compact. You just tap it off the LNB. And no internet garbage to interfere. Very well done, Tom. Yes, I've started working on that IFF decoder thing, Tom. And it seems that the Arduino is going to work. I was busy writing writing C++. That's very hazardous. It's more like hacking, you know, going through other programs that I wrote years ago, and that's how I did it. And okay, grab that line and plug it in there, and you know, it's it's not writing, it's compiling. Anyway, so let's hope it works. I did some small sections of it, ran it yesterday, and I can get down to a couple of nanoseconds with my pulse width and things, and then that's a critical thing. And I'm happy with the resolution that I can get. And so we are making progress here. Okay, Sid. Yes, I read your mail yesterday when you and Gary were in a QSO there, and you explained all your fancy, what did you call it, a Fender Road or something, electric piano and so on. Very nice. I'd love to hear it. You'll have to play us a little bit of your music at some stage on the satellite in pure hi-fi. I have an old organ, a Wurlitzer. It's from the 1950s, I think. It's a model 25G. I ordered the service manual from America years ago, and I've got it. It's a reed organ, so that's what made me think about your electric piano with the little coils and the magnets. This thing is electrostatic, so it's got a proper blower like a normal pipe organ, and the banks and banks of reeds. I think it weighs about half a ton, if not more. It takes 6, just a console, to pick up the console, it takes 6 very strong guys to lift it. It's made of wood this thick. So inside you have the blower and the banks of reeds with, of course, all the little 24-volt operated little solenoid valves. It's got two manuals. And then above the reeds are all enclosed in wooden boxes. And just above the reeds, they run a wire, thin wire, groups of them, which has got a high bias voltage on it. So they're forming a condenser microphone. So when the reed moves, it changes the capacity, which obviously induces a changing voltage in this pickup wire. And that goes obviously DC blocked into a valve preamplifier through all sorts of tone shaping things and so on, and then through the volume pedal, and then out to what they call the tone cabinet, which is another huge cabinet with two big valve amplifiers in it, two 18-inch speakers and two 12-inch speakers. That's the tone cabinet. So that's my Wurlitzer organ, and I love the sound of it. It's got a unique sound, so probably similar to, well, not similar, but as unique as your electric piano thing there, the real thing. So yeah, I'm very, very, very interested to hear that thing of yours. Okay, Gary, especially for you. Oops, I forgot. I must turn a little knob there and activate the Sony. That's the Sony A7R or Alpha 7R camera there, Gary, with the Zeiss 55mm lens. And there I'm back on the Canon, and that's the Zeiss. So that's it from me. I give it back to Gary. ZS6 Yankee India for the group from ZS1 Mike.
We actually have missed out Nick, G4IMO. So I'm going to pass it to you, Nick, and yeah, we just hope Sarah will come on after you there, Nick. And also, let me just see, there was, yeah, Sarah sending a lot of photos. So it looks good. And Randall, I wish you well. Randall's got COVID, so he says he'll just be listening today. But anyway, Nick, would you kindly take it? Golf 4 IMO from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India.
Yeah, okay, Gary. Yeah, okay, Gary. Turn the volume down. Where's my camera? There we go. Yeah, okay, Gary, thanks for that. G4IMO. I hope my signal holds up okay. It is pouring with rain here. So quite a bit of rain attenuation. But it is quite warm. It's 21 degrees here, so it's not too bad. Yeah, I've had all sorts of problems. I had planned to come up on the net last Sunday. When I came into the shack and I switched everything on, my Pluto decided it wouldn't work anymore. So it had the classic fault where the two little blue LEDs on the front, which are normally sort of there flickering away, LED 1 is at half brightness, and there's no flickering, there's no signs of life at all. So I couldn't come on anyway. So fortunately, on the British Amateur Television Club wiki site, I printed this out. Our friend, the very knowledgeable friend Noel, GTZ, has published how to recover a Pluto. So I went through that procedure. Some of it worked. The trouble is, it tells you what to do, but it doesn't tell you how. So it assumes that you have a reasonable knowledge of computers, which in my case is not the case. But anyway, I managed to recover the Pluto, and then the next step was to reload F5OEO software, and that's why I was having problems, because I remember when I first started, I had the ports down system here, and to use the Pluto on the ports down, you have to use the F5OEO software, and I followed the procedure. It said just plug the Pluto into the computer and another window will come up, and you just follow the procedure, and that all went fine. But this time, when I plugged the Pluto into the computer, expecting a window to pop up, there is no window. So that's the first problem. So I went to the C drive, and I found the Pluto. When you click on it, I couldn't open up. Well, a window opens up, but there wasn't a window there to put the new software into. It said there was you're looking for a config file, which you click on, it opens up in a new window, and then you put the new file into the window. But the only config file is a text file, so I failed with that. So after much head scratching, I then remembered that this new software that had come out, this Easy 125, you can run it on the Pluto without the F5OEO software. So that's what I'm using. So I've put that on the Pluto. So I put that on the computer, and that's what I'm using at the moment. But that is not 100%. That's given me a load more problems. The first problem is the little PTT relay that I had working on the Pluto no longer works. I don't know why. So I've got a manual override on that at the moment. The second problem was when you run the Easy software on the computer, even with the RF power slider at maximum, the output from the Pluto is significantly lower than what it was when I was using my previous system. But fortunately, I've got plenty of attenuation between the Pluto and the driver, and I've taken out some attenuation to solve that problem. But the other thing that is a bit worrying is that I've been working on this all week, trying different combinations of settings, and it was the thing was very unstable. When you start the stream up, the first 15 seconds, it has several attempts to try and start. And then after that, you think, oh, well, it's okay to use now. But no, because what happened is maybe 30 seconds later or a minute later, there'll be an interruption. But I found after about 5 minutes, if you left it, it was usable, but there was still the occasional interruption in the stream for some reason. However, when I came into the shack today for the net, it all works fine. So I've no idea. So I've just got to sort out the PTT problem. So if it's reliable, I should probably continue using this easy software, because it is much easier to use. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. I did make a few notes here. Yeah, okay, on the National Field Day, Mike. Yes, I had a listen on 2 meters. There's a few stations around here calling CQ, but I never heard them work anybody. So I guess there's not a lot of activity. I don't know whether people are out portable with this. That's what it used to be. There's a lot of portable stations going out, but as it's pouring with rain, maybe there's not a lot of activity. And Tom, the Air Spy, and your little spectrum display, that's excellent. I've just invested in one of these little devices here. This little, is that going to focus, is it? An RSP1A. I just invested in one of those to have a little play with. There's a lot of military airfields around here. We've got RAF Marham, we've got Mildenhall, we've got Lakenheath, and then not too far away is Stansted, of course. So there's a lot of aircraft activity around here, so it's nice to listen to those. So I wonder if your Spectrum display software is compatible, because that'll be worth a try. Right, I think that's about it. Oh, and welcome to SEP. That's the first time I've seen you on the net here. Very pleased to work you. Okay, on your musical activities. There's quite a few amateurs who come up on here and who play guitar, and yeah, there's quite a few of us about, so we'll have to hook up sometime and have a practice. But it's a very grey area. I don't know the legalities of playing music. I don't know. I think because I don't know whether the rules have changed. I'm not sure, but it's a very grey area in the UK. Whether you can actually play anything, I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. Try not to upset anybody. Okay, that's about it. So I'll put it round to you, Gary. I hope my signal has held up okay, and there weren't too many interruptions. I'm monitoring my signal on the ride here, and it seems to be behaving itself anyway. So round to you, Gary. ZS6YI G4IMO.
Okay, G4IMO, ZS6YI. Very good, Nick. Perfect over, perfect round. Lovely audio, picture perfect. And your red shirt coming through like a bomb. You know, in the old days of analog, we used to have all sorts of sparkles when a guy comes up with something red. So with the digital television now, that's all history, thank goodness. But I remember on the C-band, we used to have a lot of issues with red in particular. Mike, very nice to see you again. Yeah, could be quite 2-3 weeks already that we haven't seen you. We certainly do miss you on proper. I see you've been buying some more goodies. Very good. I had a box of similar type of goodies coming from Mateus, DD1 US, and the package just disappeared. It came right up to my door, and they wanted cash, and it was like $10 or something. But because we do not keep any cash on the house, and I only got told about 8:30 the evening before that they'll be around. So long before I could send my driver with some cash, the guy had been, didn't get the cash, took the parcel, and we've never seen it again. It's gone. So yeah, that little thing cost me about 300 odd pounds, 350 pounds. So I was quite annoyed about that. Anyway, yeah, Tom, no, excellent. What I'm interested to know, Tom, I see on the spectrum, it's slightly lopsided on the beacon. It was more pronounced the other day. So I don't know what the reason for that could be, because you're using the exact same equipment that they are using to generate the spectrum, as I understand it. So I'm curious to find out why that would be. I don't think it's anything on your end. It's possibly the little receiver. But otherwise, it's fantastic. It's a job well done indeed. And yeah, I've actually shown Tom my little thing. Let me see if it can focus. I hope so. I've got the RSP Duo, so it'll run similar software to yours there, Mike. So I was hoping Tom could look at that sometime, because it's got a nice 10 megahertz or 12 megahertz bandwidth, and that's what you want for this type of application. But anyway, Sep, yeah, all good from your side, and indeed it will be good if you could give us a tune or so sometimes with your keyboards there. Yeah, I know there was a bit of comment regarding music when we just started on DATV. It makes sense. We're not going to have an orchestra every time. But like I do the introduction to DATV Net with a bit of music, and I think it's okay. Some of the guys at AMSAT DL sort of said, yeah, fine, but they wouldn't like ongoing music, one after the other type of thing. In fact, there are different rules for different countries, what you may transmit. In South Africa, including 2 meters, we can transmit musical frequencies, as we call them, and we're also allowed to do it on 80 meters. Short durations, 3 minutes maximum, and then no advertising, etc., etc. But anyway, look, it makes it a bit interesting, and some guys, might find it interesting to start a little ham musical setup. Sep on the keyboards and you on the guitar there, Mike, and of course the other chap is Martin, a G4FKK. He's also into his strings. And then we can have the Wurlitzer down in, well, how do you pronounce that? But Wurlitzer down in the Cape with old Leon tickling the ivories. And all we need to do is to get old Bob Heil, the guy from Heil Microphones. He plays the big church organs as well. He sent me a tape years back of him playing, and I had it in my rolls playing his tape. It's very good, I must say. It's excellent. And it has a sound of its own. It's also a Wurlitzer, I think, Leon, but, those huge church things with the pipes, and sounds very good. Anyway, Bert, good to see you. And as usual, interesting and good round. No problems there. And Leon, yeah, it'll be interesting to see once you've got that little thing programmed. I like your hacking there. As long as it works, doesn't matter how you do it. And C++ nogal, hell, you're stepping out. I gave up at basics. I did PL1, Programming Language 1. I had to do it to get our first year engineering done. And I didn't really like programming as such. And then eventually I did basic, plain the first basic. And if you made one mistake, you had to do the whole line over. Then they edited it, and then we got X basic. That was nice. And then they even changed it again. And as I've told you before, Leon, I can learn a thing, and I'll never forget it. But don't ask me to unlearn something. And that's what I found with these computer programs. You learn something today, that's the way, and then you've got to unlearn it, and no, something else has changed. I just got sick of that. And anyway, I was too busy building a big factory, so and building a business, so to get involved in something that wasn't totally in my field. But so I regret a bit not taking more notice, but anyway, such is life. Right, let's quickly give it another whip around. How's our time? Yeah, we still got some time. So, Mike, to you, Golf Zero Mike Whiskey Juliet from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. He's got load shedding. But anyway, I'm sure he's not having that. Okay, the next one, Tom, would you like to take an over? ZR6 Tango Golf from ZS6YI.
Okay, thanks Gary. ZS6YI, ZR6 Tango Golf. Yeah, my apologies, my audio is definitely very much out of sync today. Not quite sure what's going on there. I'll fiddle with that again. Yeah, a good net. Good to see everybody on the air today. I know Mike said he's not coming back for another round, because he needs to go help on site there, disassembling the equipment. So yeah, but yeah, good to see you there, Mike, as well. Sep, yeah, well, considering that you've gotten your mini tuner and probably I'm assuming some of your other equipment about 3 weeks ago, you're putting out a very nice signal. It sounds all very good and the video is good, so yeah, good job there, and it's nice to see you. It was nice to have a chat with you the other day as well. Yeah, I'm jealous of your weather where you're saying you're going to go out for a swim. I wish. On this side it's still nice and chilly. But yeah, I'm quite keen on the Pico W as well. Play around with that. It's all, the thing that's always been missing on the original Raspberry Pico. Problem is that we probably won't be able to buy that in South Africa for another year at least. Our local regulations, the ICASA, it took them a year to approve the Raspberry Pi 2, the Raspberry Pi 02, the new one. Well, new to us, but for the rest of the world, they've had it for a year. And our local official Raspberry Pi supplier actually has the new Pico W already, but they're not allowed to sell it to us purely because of the ICASA stuff. So holding thumbs that it's happening quickly. Otherwise I'll just have to import it or something, make another plan. Leon, yeah, no, not a problem. You're welcome to send the hardware down. I'll set it all up for you and send it back, so not a problem at all. And good seeing you there. I wonder how it's going with your renovations in your building there. I think I asked you last week, but then I think you got cut off by load shedding. And then yeah, that Sony camera, very nice visual. It's definitely a big difference. I'm assuming it's probably the lens that's making the difference there between the Canon and the Sony. But yeah, it's a very nice camera, a nice view, nice blurry background, looks very good. And yeah, well done on the programming. Definitely keen to see your decoder there in action once you've got a little bit more going there. And then Nick, yeah, sorry to hear about your Pluto issues. But yeah, your over there was perfect. So the DATV Easy seems to be working quite well. I've done some in-shack tests with the DATV Easy, but I had a few issues, so I didn't bother much more with it. I figured I'll wait a bit for a newer version. But I've got a new Pluto in my setup now using the Leo Bardners. So I've got the old one here, so maybe I should do some more testing and playing with that one and see how it goes. But yeah, as always, very nice signal there and very nice video from your side. Looks awesome. And then yeah, Gary, yeah, I'm not quite sure why it's slightly slanted. It also has a lot to do with the scaling of it, which makes it look a lot more pronounced. If I make the window a lot smaller, it looks a lot more normal. but there is definitely some slanting on that signal on the beacon compared to what the BATC monitor is. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll need to have a look. I noticed something very similar on my narrow band as well, some of the signals there, so maybe it is something on my side. I'll have to play around and see, but yeah, it's working well. And regarding all the other SDRs, well, no, at the moment, the BATC, that back end was purely designed for the AirSpy. Busy looking, like I said, at the RTL dongle. I would look at the RSP, but I don't have one. But another idea I had was to maybe change that back end to be using the SOAPy SDR library. So that library basically encapsulates a whole bunch of different SDRs, including the SDR Play or the RSP1A, the Pluto, and a few others. So if I can get it going working with that, then in theory, all the other SDRs that the library supports should work out of the box. So yeah, it's on the to-do list. I'll play with it some more. I've also been busy with the Longman, working on a new version where I'm not using VLC anymore, but rather the FFmpeg libraries with DirectX, and so far it seems to be working quite well. The advantage of the new version would be that we can actually record the video, not just do snapshots. So I'm quite keen to get that going as well. So yeah, tons of projects on the go, and having fun along the way as usual. Okay, well, I wish everybody a good weekend further, and hope everybody has fun this week, and I'll probably see you all on the net again next week. 73 from ZR6 Tango Golf, and I'm handing it over to Sep again. DL7 SEP, this is Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. Bye bye everybody.
Okay, Tom, many thanks, and I think your software solutions are great. I must a little bit reduce the audio level here. Yeah, I didn't use your software in the moment. I have only here the SDR Play as a second radio, and this is a really a good thing to have a monitoring of the spectrum. I only use it on the internet in the moment. And yes, I think this is a great thing to use that. Maybe I order this AirSpy radio and use that for this monitoring. Yeah, then for the next time I will check to put in the audio cables from the keyboards here to the PC, and I must check the levels and so on, and then I can give you a short overview of the old Fender Rhodes 73 Mark II from the 80s, and this is really a great sound. The problems what the company Fender does in this piano is you have 73 keys and also 73 coils. And I don't remember, I think 3 or 4 coils is using in parallel mode, and the next coils then in serial. So you have many of coils in serial, and we all know inductance cuts the high frequencies, and that is what going on in this piano. So on the end of the left and right side of the coils, there goes to a easy putty to adjust volume and only a little bit of the high frequencies with the capacitor. And this putty have an impedance, I don't remember, I think 1 kilo ohm. And then it is parallel to the many of coils what you have in this piano. So the result of them is that the high frequencies are complete cutted by the piano itself. And I have decided to use an amplifier with a very low noise amplifier and with a symmetrical input. So this is also good for from outside coming EMC and so on. But I think a short sequence is okay. Yeah. What is other? Yeah, the Wurlitz church organ or organ. I don't know here before that the Wurlitz builds organs. I can Wurlitz e-piano. It is used from Supertramp. All the records from Supertramp use the Wurlitzer piano. And I know that sound. But what you use is a very big part. So you can use it on stages when you need maybe 6 or 8 guys for move it from one place to the other. With the Fender Rhodes, it have approximate 70 to 80 kilogram. So this is also not easy to use it on stage. But today there are always some guys use Fender Rhodes on live here. But I use for when I play live music, I use only Yamaha easy keyboards to clamp it under the arm and go with this keyboard. Other is too heavy for me. Yeah, okay. And for the Bluetooth, with the problems with Bluetooth, I can only say the Sandor Delta Mic 4 Delta Sierra has many of experience about problems and bootloader and all the things what going wrong on the Bluetooth. He can help, I think. This is really a good guy for Bluetooth and problems about the Bluetooth. Yeah, okay. So I will make also a finish here. And many thanks to come in here in this group, and I wish you all the best. Tom, for your helpness also. And yeah, I want a time for the complete group, and then I make here a finish. Many thanks, Gary. Mike have made finish, maybe. Tom, Bert, Leon, and Nick. So the microphone goes to Papa Alpha 3, Alpha Oscar Delta for the group. On the end, Delta Lima 7 Sierra Echo Papa 73 to all. Many thanks and goodbye.
Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta ZS6YI. All right. Now, why am I locking up so freezing? I don't know why that should be on the YouTube channel. Right, Leon, firstly, that camera makes a massive difference. Although I did notice something strange, it was hunting a little bit on the focus. It focuses sharp, then goes out, focuses sharp, goes out. I don't know if the f-stop is adjusted for too much background blur, but you know that you're really just focusing on a very small area, and as you move your head, it wants to refocus. But other than that, the clarity is superb. I know, you can't beat that for sure. So thanks for that demo. Interesting. Yeah, the Sony, the A3, no, what is it? The A Alpha 7, now the version 4. Now, it's not the R. That doesn't have HDMI output, which is rather disappointing. Otherwise, it's got everything. It's got very high chip resolution. So, but I think the guy did say the R version has got that. So I'll just follow up with him, but it's like double the price almost. So it's quite a lot more. Okay. Cheers to you there, Sepp. Nice seeing you again. And yeah, it'd be interesting to hear you playing. Why not? It'll be fun. Put the camera on yourself and give us a tune or so. That'll be wonderful. Cheers to you, Nick, G4IMO. I'm going to actually close the net at this over, so I wish you all well. Happy swimming there, Sepp, if you go with the wife. And thanks to everyone for coming up this afternoon. We have had 23 viewers at one stage, so all good. So with that, Nick, to you, if you want to wrap it up, and then I'll throw the ball in the air. Sorry, I lie. It's Leon's turn. Hey, I'm jumping the gun. I can't even read my own handwriting here. A ZS1MM, will you pass it to Nick from ZS6YI, and then we'll wrap up the net. Take it away, please, Leon.
Okay, Gary, ZS6YI in the group, ZS1 Mike returning also for a final. Yes, okay, yeah, sorry that I didn't realize that you were on, Nick. And very interesting that you have a whole spiel there on the Pluto recovery. I've often had my one that the lights just go dim, just two blue LEDs, and they're not flickering, they're just dim. Then I just rip out the plugs, put it back in, power down the computer, reboot the whole lot, and it's fine again. So maybe I was lucky. It all starts with the instability of these very high-speed USB ports nowadays. Oh, I don't know. Gary, we'll have to do that that LAN thing sometime. Experiment with that. Okay. Yeah, I also noticed the hunting. That is a setup problem. I didn't do the setup properly. You can set the focusing area, and you can also set what do you call it? Face recognition. So at the moment I've got it set up as I have it for aerial photography, where I tell it to focus on the whole frame. It's full frame, of course, so it's very big. And I think that's what's causing the hunting. I actually still had the thing on the 2:3 aspect ratio, and so I quickly rushed in just to get it on 16:9 for this transmission. So okay, all noted from everybody, and Tom, once again, very, very well done with that thing. I don't know what an AirSpy receiver looks like. Mine is a black box, so I'll have to get an AirSpy one then, if your firmware works with the AirSpy. No problem. I want that thing. Yeah, you can't run a station without that. I mean, I'm using Scan and Tune, which does the same, but it is so slow, you know. because it shares all the other things. I love my scan and tune. But that thingy of yours, oh man, that is a dream come true. Okay, so from me, cheers to everybody. And Nick, by the way, your transmission was perfect. Not a single blip or anything. It was smooth. The same quality video that you had previously, and audio. There's nothing wrong whatsoever. So keep it going like that. So over to you, G4IMO for the group from ZS1 Mike going QRT and going C++.
Yeah, okay, Leon. G4IMO. Yes, I wish I had your programming skills. It's an age thing, I think. But anyway, we'll get there in the end. Yeah, okay. On yes, Sep. Thanks for that information there. With the other German station there, who is very knowledgeable on the Pluto. I'm going to wait till I can get hold of my friend G2GTZ, who's away on holiday at the moment. He's away for a couple of weeks, so I shall wait until he comes back off holiday. See if he can. I'm sure he'll be able to solve my problem. The other thing I wanted to say was I leave all the USB cables plugged into the computer. So even if I'm in the shack and I'm on the computer doing something else, the Pluto is plugged in. So and as I'm only using it for like a couple of hours on a Sunday, the rest of the week, because it's plugged into the computer. So I'm thinking now, maybe at the end of this transmission, if I'm not going to use it again till next Sunday, when I switch the computer off, I shall unplug it so that when I'm using it next week, it won't be corrupted. We'll see. But I assume that everybody leaves their USB leads plugged in all the time, and I don't know. Anyway, it's working now, but I'm frightened to switch the computer off because I know next time I switched on next week it won't work. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, and I meant to comment, Leon. That Sony camera is superb. Yeah, your face is nicely sharp, and the shelving behind you is out of focus. I can't see that big mains transformer that you've got on the shelf behind you, but the actual your face is superb, very sharp, very nice picture. Right, that's it. I'm going to say 73 to everybody, and hopefully, if my little Pluto will behave itself, I shall be up next Sunday for the net. So 73, G4IMO is off and clear.
What a nice picture you have. That little tacky you have on your shirt is so clear. It's unbelievable. So well done. And you got the Pluto working very well with that easy program, as you call it. Okay, cheers to you, Bert, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta, to you, Tom, and to Mike. Mike had to run. And so with that, this is ZS6YI closing the worldwide net, thanking everybody for watching on YouTube and also participating today. Once again, very interesting. So with that, ZS6YI now throwing the ball in the air and saying 7-3 all round.
Okay, thanks there, Gary, for the net, running the net there. It was wonderful as always.